Hello and welcome back to StarTropics. When we last left off, we had gotten the frequency for tracking Dr. J, and now that we have put it into the computer system, I think we can set off, so let's just dive right in. If I pick up a signal, I'll alert you. Subsea is ready to launch, all full ahead. Let's see what we have now. Captain Bell, Chapter 5. Subsea is searching for Dr. Jones's location, but the strait is blocked. Alright, so we have a few places that we need to go here, and ultimately we're going to have to make this trip twice over to an area over here, so I say we just start with it. Alright, let's dive. Why there had to be a second path, I'm not really sure, but that's alright. Now, if we wait here for a second, we'll see some bubbles for a secret little path there. And where we want to go is up to this house. I have a nice little fishing friend. Hi, my name's Hook. I'm the fishing master. You want to know the ABCs of fishing? Well, of course. Okay, wake up early and find a fresh worm for bait. The island saying is, the early bird catches the worm, and fish too. Here's a fresh worm for you. Well, thanks, friend. I appreciate that. Alright. And then we probably could wait for this, but we can take a pop over. Oops, not down here. Gotta go all the way around. It's only gonna add a couple extra seconds. So we have this little secret path here that brings us to, oops, nowhere. What we really need to do is realize that there's a second secret path over here. And that brings us to this structure, which this young lady will tell us. I maintain Captain Bill's memorial. Boy, don't touch anything. By the way, Peter's great-great-grandpa was Captain Bell's pet parrot. Did you know? Did not know that. But we will keep that in mind as we progress back. I was going to say progress forward, but really we need to backtrack. Oop, there we go. Alright, so yes, this whole chapter is about Captain Bell, who we have no idea who that is, but that's okay. Subsea is going to keep telling us, that's your navcom rather. Now searching for Dr. J's location. If I pick the signal, I'll let you know. Ready to go. Alright. Love hearing that message over and over again. On the other hand, some nice tunes in the background are always appreciated. Now we will go up to what we could see when we first arrived here. Now, there's a cave there along this beachfront, but we can't park the boat here, so we can't get there. Instead, we're going to head into this village. Well, actually, let me just quickly show you that if we look to the left, currently, there's nothing there. Keep that in mind. So, as always, we have to say hi to everyone. Welcome to Bellcola. Oh, they really like Captain Bell, huh? I want to be a hero like Captain Bell. Don't you know the story of our island father, the British Captain Bell? No, not my papa, dummy. He's our island father. Oh, that's good to know. The second oldest in all the islands, 128 years. Let's keep that in mind. 128 is apparently the second oldest. Welcome to Bellcola. Such welcoming people. This guy, it's impossible to cross the strait now. Okay. Hi, I'm a great songwriter. Do you like my song, Miso, My Bell Miso? Okay. I'm gonna let that one go. And then this kid, I get up early to fish, the early bird catches the worm. We heard that phrase goes on a little bit longer, but that's okay. And finally the guard, oh, you're from Sea Island? Our chief is waiting for you. And here we'll talk to this chief of Bellcola. Looks a little different than most of the other chiefs. Mike, I'm Chief Bellcola. I got a letter from Sea Island by carrier pigeon. Chief Coral Cola asked me to give you the secret of the strait, but I'm not sure. Do you promise to keep it secret? Sure. I believe you. Listen carefully. In 1680, the British Captain Bell battled with pirates invading our islands. He blocked the strait by sacrificing his own ship, saving our islands. Since then, Captain Bell has been known as the Island Father. But he left a secret in his cave to open the strait. Mike, it's not easy to enter Bell's cave. We need the help of Peter. Good luck. Peter, I believe, is the great whatever of Captain Bell's parrot. So now, if you look over to the left, who's there but Peter? Hello, Peter I am. No gift, no chat. No gift, no chat. So, we'll give Peter the worm. And now, Peter wants to talk. Yes, gift. Good morning, Captain Bell. Good morning, Captain Bell. Hide, Peter, hide. Do me, so far, do me. And that is the clue we need. Do me, so far, do me. Now, how to utilize that information will come up very shortly. If we head back to Captain Bell's Memorial, I think it's a pretty good puzzle. It's a pretty classic one for a game like this, where you're relatively limited on, how to give out information. You need to find things that are relatively universally known. Otherwise, the puzzle can be impossible or too niche to really work. So I think this one's pretty good. Now, try not to say too much until we actually get there, just in case you want a second or two to think about it if you haven't figured it out already. But as we could see before, there's a little piano here, or what looks like a piano. Maybe it's an organ, doesn't matter, I don't care. And actually, there's one more extra clue that if you step on this first key, it'll say do or do. And then you just have the kind of rest of that, I don't know what you call it, the classic singing notes, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and then do. So, do, re, do, mi, so far, do, me, is what Peter told us. Huzzah! And if you try that without having talked to him, I am 99% certain it won't work, so you can't just skip all that. Now, we have a secret here that's difficult to miss, or at least the stairs are, but you may miss this very, very lightly blue as opposed to the gray walls that hides this heart container, or big heart rather, which increases our life level. Always appreciated. But with that, can head outside where this beach is that we saw earlier, and then we can dive in to this cave that hopefully reveals a secret that apparently Captain Bell was hiding. Now here we have this little slug guy, that doesn't really matter. Just in case you're, had a game over or something and you needed to refill your hearts, there's 4 hearts right here. This is kind of an interesting level. It's much more tricks and traps rather than enemy heavy. I mean, there's still plenty of enemies, but they're not the primary focus. Obviously in this room, you just have to take out that one bat. I usually take care of all of them. And then here's kind of our first trap room. Once you get to a certain spot, the floor will start to fall out from under you. And if you're 100% perfect, you can get all of the hearts here. If you, do even 1/2 a second of missed time, you won't be able to get it. So you have to do this exact pattern, and then you have just a millisecond there to jump off. And then in here, you got some Indiana Jones style stuff. Usually if you just keep walking, you should be fine for this room. And then you have to make sure you jump right away. And sometimes you just get hit. Now here, these are kind of interesting ones. Once you hit these balls, they'll start moving, and then you have to time your jumps to jump over them. When When there's just one, it's not too bad, but certainly can be problematic. We only have to go up here, but I'm going to show the other two rooms off as well. This gives us access to a room where we can maybe get an extra life, or maybe not, depending on how lucky we are. I still find these very odd that it's, you know, just completely random if you gain or lose lives. But such is life. Now in here we have some more spikes, or whatever, arrows, sorry. You just gotta keep moving and should be safe, unlike what I just did. And then, as I said, up here is where we actually need to go. Kind of an interesting room. There's a bunch of false floors that you can fall into, and then various walkways you can walk through. Ultimately, though, what we need to do is try to fall and then head down to this bottom right corner. And as we come down here, there's going to be these spikes popping out of the floor, which look a lot scarier than they are, because they only move one space at a time, so they're not quite as difficult to avoid as they initially appear. But we'll take this pathway over here, take out that mouse, and then head on to the next room. And you can pretty much just stay right here. Take these guys out, but what you need to kill is the bat to open this door. And then we can get to this side of the walkway from this room and head out. Now in here, you can go kind of all the way around and that will work, but if you move quickly, you can just head straight across here. If you wait long enough, eventually every tile of the floor will fall out and you will die, which is not preferred. And here we have this bowling ball that is kind of an instant kill, or instant death if you touch it. This one's not too bad to deal with. There's going to be a couple others later, particularly the third one, that are very problematic and basically function as the level's boss. Now obviously we've got these mirrors here. We're going to take them out right now. You don't really need to do this, but it makes it just a little bit easier, I guess. Oh, this is annoying. They're positioning themselves. Just take these guys out. You could leave them alone and just deal with the snake, because that's all you actually have to do, but I usually like to kill them. Now, as we progress on, our traps will start getting just a little bit trickier. Where you need to go here is down. I'm going to go through every room just to show it off, but we'll hit that guy, and then hit this one and move on. Going up here is easily the most dangerous of these rooms. You're going to have a lot of those blocks that just collapse out from under you as soon as you land on them. So hopefully I don't delay at all, because they're very unforgiving. But if you go across here and here, you can get 2 double heart refills. And then you come this way, up here to open the door. You likely noticed that we picked up those magical rods earlier, or magic scepters, or whatever it is they're called. We use one in here. We will show off this ghost. Take the ghost out, and it opens that door down there. There's also something I never really use in here, baseball bats. But down here is a much more useful item, sort of, which is the magic potion. And then where's our... There we go. Obviously, you can see there those 2 spikes that kind of block the path from down below. We'll keep that in mind as we move forward, that those are there. So, finally, we're going to actually go where we need to go. Move that guy out of the way, and then you'll notice that all these other ones, when you hit them, they start moving away from you. Because this one's already against the wall, it's going to immediately come at you, so you got to be ready to jump right away. And then we continue on. That snake on the left, you would think is going to be an issue, but because of where it's hitting the walls, it'll never bother you when you stay up here, so you can easily just take everything else out first. Now in here, we have some little birdies that we have to take out, and then we will hit our second bowling ball. Now, this is where we learn that if you hit them, they will stop. I'm not going to bother going up here just because it's not worth it, but going up right there brings us to the other side of the room where we found the magic potion. But as I said, that way is blocked, so there's no benefit to going there. And now we move on. Probably the toughest part about that room is the fact that instead of the safe area being in the middle, it's a little off to the side, so can throw you off. But now up here, probably the easiest thing to do is just go, and if you get hit by one of the bats, just kind of accept it. Standing around and letting them, trying to fight them off, you'll probably take more damage than you would if you just stayed. Now, these guys we want to take out, and then this one first, right? Yes, good. Jumping there blows that wall open right there, but that just brings us to the other side of the room where that ghost was that let us access the health potion. So what we actually want to do is, again, bust out a scepter and kill this ghost. And that brings us in here, where we have a little bit of a difficult task to deal with, which is two of these balls moving in the same direction, which can get pretty annoying. But luckily, we gotta set ourselves up with a pretty good pattern there. Now in here, we get some more of those spikes. Woo. There we go. That timed really nicely. A little health refill. And then in here, you have a very tricky room. I actually don't really like this one very much. So you have those spikes there, but that platform disappearing pretty much goes at the exact moment when you would normally jump on it. And it just disappears the second you jump. And I really don't like the timing of it. I think it's kind of unfair, but that's just me. Now, this is basically the boss of the level, and it's really very annoying because this one, unlike the others, will actually hunt you. So as you come on the screen, it'll start moving towards you, and just like the other ones, it's an instant kind of one-hit kill. So you really need to attack it to freeze it in place, but it's just very unforgiving, unfortunately. And you can easily die here in what is at least a relatively cheap way, which I don't love. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just a very annoying death when it does happen. You don't always feel like it was earned. But with that, we have pretty much completed this level. We have, I think, 3 ghosts here that we need to take out. And then these 2 snakes over here. We head up, and just one more mystery to uncover, which is to realize that there's a pathway right here. And a second pathway up here. And then finally, 2 and 3. We find Captain Bell's method of clearing the strait that he devised, and we'll come out here and see exactly what that was, what opening this waterway and activating this water wheel did. You should also pay close attention to this music. Just another very strong American Western reference in this game. Wow, you've done it. Now saving, alright. Alright, and then I think, because I actually forget exactly how this plays out here, I think we'll just end things here. When we come back, we'll have the final little couple of seconds to wrap up this chapter, and then we will move on to the next. But until then, see ya.